How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Monsters. This is Season 1, Episode 9, and this one's entitled Pool Sharks. This originally aired December 17th, 1988, and was written and directed by Alan Kingsberg. The episode stars Tom Mason, Irving, Merzman, and Rebecca Downs. And overall, this is a pretty good episode. There is some things that bug me about it, and I wasn't absolutely in love with it, but overall, it's pretty effective and has a fun little unique twist to it and some good amount of tension. Obviously, with this, I think the biggest thing with this episode is the tone and atmosphere. This story takes place in a seedy little bar, and it's about betting on a game of pool. This is also a very film noir story. Tough guys and femme fatales. If you guys like that atmosphere, you're definitely gonna like this. This is pretty decently drenched in atmosphere. Personally, I'm not the hugest fan. I'm not the kind of guy that really goes out to bars or drinks or bets on games of pool. But if you are, you might really like this. Good atmosphere, not my particular cup of tea though, but this also does the classic anthology horror trope of taking random topic and mixing it with random horror subgenre. This is monsters, so there's obviously going to be a monster. I won't say what it is though. Sadly, not a literal pool shark. That would have been fun. But we will get a crossover, and crossing a monster with betting on pool, that's something that's pretty unique and different, and I really do think it is kind of fun, the anthology horror mashup, you know? That being said though, and I think what really gets to me about this episode is the way that large plot elements just kind of plop out. Like at one point in the episode, the girl explains why she wears a wristwatch, and when she does that, you instantly know what her whole deal is. And the main guy, he's gonna reference something that happened in this other town. And the moment he does that, you know what his whole deal is. I kind of wish it was doled out smaller. Like things that happen super early in the episode, you understand why they happen when you look back at them. You know, like this piece of jewelry or one of the guy's occupations. And it is there. I just wish that the big pieces were doled out slowly like this so that you would eventually get it over time, but it just kind of comes out, and it is one that once you know what its deal is, once you know what the creature is, you can kind of figure out the main passes of this story, and it's still okay. I mean, it's still got the atmosphere, it's still got a classic monster in it, and it still does have the tension. But, you know, this is one of those things that kind of gets me with anthology horror. Anthology horror is somehow simultaneously incredibly wacky and unpredictable, but also super tropey and at times super predictable. So while we do have this interesting mashup of a pool hall and a monster, once you know the track you're on, you kind of know your destination. And I do wish that there was, you know, this is just an episode that needed something. Maybe give the monster a big, cool fight scene or revelation or crazy makeup. I don't know. It's just a case of it needed something to derail it a little more. Something bigger, something to make it more memorable. As I said, though, it's still totally fine. It's just missing something and kind of predictable. But let's go ahead and talk a bit about the plot. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, and I won't say what the monster is, but I do want to analyze it and talk about some things that work and don't work. So yeah, let's dive into the plot. We open up with this guy, and he's an undertaker, and he's playing a game of pool with this beautiful woman. I think it's the deal is he's doing like trick shots where she puts the balls in certain places and they bet on whether he can make them or not. And she seems to be getting quite a bit of money out of him. Well, this strange and mysterious drifter wanders into the bar and he says, "Hey bartender, here's a big tip. Why don't you make that guy's drinks a little bit too strong so he gets a little tipsy?" And that's where we get the whole pool shark angle. A pool shark is a real thing. Basically, it's this common scheme where you go up to someone and you pretend to be an amateur at pool when in reality you're not, and you say, "Oh, a fun game of pool, why not?" And you bet a little money and you get on a bit of a losing streak, let the other guy get overconfident, and then when he bets a ton of money, you reveal that you're actually a pool master and you win the high stakes bets. And it is an interesting scheme. It's something that if you're into pool, you definitely need to be aware of. And, you know, this opening section of the episode, why not super relevant to the last half of the episode, it is really interesting watching this sort of game play out. Now, why this is going on, the lady who he was playing with initially kind of steps back but does flirt. But we also get one scene where he cuts himself on a glass and his finger's bleeding, and she sucks the blood off of his fingers, which, dang it, monsters, back in the episode New York Honey, we had another finger-sucking scene. Is this going to be like a trope with the show? I mean, we're not even halfway through the first season. How much finger-sucking are we going to do? Whatever. She's flirting, and when the guy finally does his pool shark bit, wipes the other guy out, it's just the two of them, and they decide to continue to play, continue to flirt, but this is obviously a horror TV show. It's not going to end with them winding up romantic, and it's not going to be happy. So we will get the stakes amping up, and I do like the stakes. I do like, you know, betting and going, I have you now, you know, that sort of thing. But, you know, like I said, once you see what's really going on here, once you see who these two characters really are, it is fairly predictable, and I do wish maybe there was some sort of twist or some sort of bigger monster reveal or something. It's totally fine, but, you know, it's just one of those things that I'm like, I've seen this before, I know where this is going. One final thing, though, and maybe I missed something here, but later in the episode, the guy marks the 8-ball with a symbol, I think it's a cross, and that, for whatever reason, causes the 8-ball to defy physics later? What was that about? Why did that happen? I feel like I missed something, and if someone knows, please tell me, because that was just a weird moment. But anyway, a good enough episode. Not my personal favorite, but again, if you are a fan of this particular grungy film noir atmosphere, you might really like it. So, you know, it's not 100% for me, but it is fine, you know. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Monsters playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about the past episodes, you should be able to find them there, and I hope to get to more soon. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.